Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Do you want to take control of your finances and stay ahead? Join a host of investment management and finance professionals every Monday at 4:30 p.m. right here for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria and is a financial literacy program. Smart Uzechi is my name. If you call me Captain Smart, you will be financially correct. Today on the program, my guest is Maryam Kurfi, CFA. Maryam is a CFA charter holder and senior finance professional with over 15 years experience advising institutional investors and governments across investment management, financial regulation, and development finance. She currently serves in a senior advisory capacity in Nigeria's public sector and is vice chair of the CFA Society Nigeria's Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Committee. Beyond her professional work, Maryam is passionate about grassroots women's empowerment, supporting women through tailoring and fashion design initiatives, and championing inclusion for people living with disabilities in her community. And our subject of discussion this evening will be, are Nigerian women better investors than men? So why do they have less wealth? In case you didn't hear that the first time, we're going to be talking about this subject. Are Nigerian women better investors than Nigerian men? So why do they have less wealth? That's the subject of discussion when we return from a very short break. But first of all, let's say hello to our guest this evening. Hello to you, Maryam. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's the voice of our guest this evening. When we return, we shall go straight into the subject. Please do join us again.
We are professionals. We are impact driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holders' commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietynG.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to Money Talks, brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Smart Uzechi is my name, and this evening we're talking with Maryam Kurfi, who is our guest on the program, and we're going to be discussing a very, very important issue this afternoon. So if you want to join us on the program, 0707-218-6998. That's the number to call, 0707-218-6998. You can also join us on the number 0802-685-7134. That's 0802-685-7134. Or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. That's 0817-313-6193. You can call us on that number, and we're talking this evening. Remember, our subject of discussion here today, We're talking about a very important issue as it concerns women, and I will expect that the women will come out to participate this evening. Are Nigerian women better investors than men? So why do they have less wealth? Is the subject of discussion here this evening. Maryam, it's good to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, the line cut off for a bit.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. So, Maryam, let's get straight into it. Is there evidence that women can be strong long-term investors?
Well, these are not my words, but the data keeps showing, which nobody seems to want to say out loudly enough. Again, I'm reiterating, you can check this. These are not my words. I don't want to bore you with the source. Women are better investors than men. Not a little bit better, they're consistently better. Year after year, study after study, the numbers say the same thing. So you can check this out online, anybody that wants to listen out there. So here's the question that we should be thinking and asking ourselves is, if women are better investors, why do women hold so much less wealth? I think if maybe it's the last week or two ago, there's this TikTok trending with the wealthiest Nigerian women and men. They did one for men and one for women. And what I noticed was the wealthiest of the women, I think, had a net worth of over $2.something billion. And then when you saw the clip for the men, it had the first man, that is the least, that's their lower band. He started with $2 billion. So our top band is their lowest band. So it just makes you think, when women are actually said to be better, and simply the study data says that, how come it's not resulting in more wealth? So the reason tends to do, I think, better to actually simply say, okay, women hold investments longer. We know that. We may not all agree with it, listening out there. The men might not agree with me. But women naturally, they do not, this in our instincts, I think we don't panic to sell something very quickly or to just react to bad news. We don't tend to chase, the next big thing that our friend mentioned, that, my guy, you have to do this, you're going to get 300, 500% return. We tend to want to take calculated risks. And I think if you've ever watched, if you think of any woman in your own household, a woman in Nigeria does a spectacular job managing a household budget. If you just think about it, one salary, it will go across to school fees, rent, food, transport. If you're contributing to your church or your mosque, still, she'll do all that and she'll have something to save. Like, we already know that there's women, everyday women out there in Nigeria that are doing it. Maybe you're the woman that is listening right now, but you do this. And how do you do it? Because you have discipline, you have patience, and you refuse to spend what you can't keep up with. Like, you don't have to spend what you don't have. Like, we don't go out of our way to spend what we don't have. And if you think about it from the investment perspective, that is exactly what investing looks like.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes. I'm sure.
Just one more thing. The challenge, though, that I think I want this conversation to carry on with is that if women are doing all this, like, what is it that needs to change for it to translate into wealth building?
Oh, wow. I'm sure you've sparked a debate now between men and women, and I'll just be listening in when the men will start to call. So we'll just leave that aside. So now, Maryam, so what investment traits are commonly associated with women, and how do these traits actually influence outcomes?
Okay, so can I tell you something that always makes me smile? Is Nigerian women have been practicing advanced investment strategy for generations. They just weren't calling it that. If I'm Hausa, so there's Asusu or Adashe, and then there's Ajo for Yoruba, Aido. So we commit a fixed amount regularly for a specified goal over a defined period. You do not dip into it. You do not skip months because something came up. You stay the course. That's what most women out there, I'm sure, if you've ever been part of it, if it's at work, if it's in your community, at home, you do it. The world's biggest pension funds and investment institutions call that approach goal-based investing. They pay consultants millions of dollars to build a framework around it if they want to reach a goal. But your average Nigerian woman has been doing this at the back of a market, on their phones, on some WhatsApp group. So what we do naturally as women is invest with a purpose. We're not asking, how quickly is this going to make me rich? Or we're not asking what we're going to be a billionaire, want to buy a plane. No, we're thinking about, I need to pay school fees for my children or for myself in 3 years. I want to buy my own home. I want to make sure that I'm not dependent on my children when I am old. That is not a simple way of thinking about money. Like, with all the women listening out there to me, I'm sure still some will agree that this is the right way to do things, because this is naturally what we do. But again, the challenge is that financial services here in Nigeria has not always designed products to speak to how we actually think of money. So that failure is not hers, it's the system.
Okay. And do women actually tend to take more risks in investing? If so, how does that affect returns?
So I want to push back a bit on something. So because there's a version of this question that you just asked me that kind of gets used to explain the women's wealth gap, as it's more directed towards women being too cautious when it comes to investing, or too afraid, or too risk averse to build real wealth. And I think that framing is doing a lot of damage. Here, the distinction I would want to make is women tend to be risk aware, not risk averse. And those two things are very different. Risk aware means you understand what you are getting into before you put your money in. You ask questions. You do not invest in something you don't understand or you can't explain. Like, men will think, men sitting out there, women like to talk. Everybody knows, yes, I like to talk. I can be on the phone for an hour with a friend. But it's not just talking. We like to talk. We like clarity when we're doing things. We like to reflect. And on the other hand, what risk averse really means is you avoid everything. And that is also a mistake. Because here's something we do not say often in Nigeria. We all know that a lot of people keep money in a savings account, right? We all have a savings account. Most people have one. But do you know that is also a risk? It's just a quiet one. Because if we think about now, okay, inflation, let's go back 2023, it was over 24%. If we move on 2024, it's over 30%. We're still hovering around that. And if you have money in a savings account and it's giving you 6 or 7% interest, you're not protecting your money. You're actually losing money every month. The number in your account may look the same and you think it's a big number. But you have to remind, when you go to the market, when you go out, what's your purchasing power? It's shrinking drastically right now. So these things are all things like women listen out there know we try to avoid, and it's truly worth avoiding. Putting your money in a business deal, your cousin's friend recommended, investing in something that, your friend said that, it's trending on social media, or chasing returns without understanding what's underneath it. These are all things we avoid as women naturally. And to no surprise, it destroys wealth if you do so.
Okay. Thank you very much. In case you just tuned in now, you're listening to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria and is a financial literacy program. Our subject of discussion this evening are Nigerian women better investors than men? So why do they have less wealth? Talking about the women now. So this is a debate that is starting here right now. My guest on the program, Maryam Kurfi, CFA, and she's been making a lot of sense out of it.
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to join us on the conversation, 0707 218-6998. That's the number to call, 0707 218-218-6998, or you can call us on 0802-685-7134. That's 0802-685-7134, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. That's 0817-313-6193. You can also send us a voice note, and let's get into this debate this evening. Are Nigerian women better investors than men? So why do the women have less wealth? That's what we're talking about here this evening. So you can join the debate and join the conversation as I go back to my guests this evening, as we await your questions or your clarifications, your contributions via the telephone lines. So Maryam, what habits then do you think help women to grow wealth, regardless of their income levels? Because in many places we have seen that maybe the women earn quite less than their male counterparts. So can you tell us those habits actually help them to grow their wealth, regardless of how much they earn, and how important is early financial education for girls and young women?
Hello?
Yes, we're with you.
Hello?
Yes.
I can't hear, so I'm missing your question. Okay,
I was asking you to tell us those habits that help women to grow wealth, regardless of the fact that they have income levels that are not as high as that of their male counterparts in some places, if you agree, and also how important is early financial education for girls and young women?
Okay, so I think the habit that has made the biggest difference, let me talk about myself. To me, and I've seen it change other people's financial lives completely. It's so simple. It sounds too small to matter, really. I pay myself first. Before anything else leaves your account, before rent, before your data subscription, before you send any money home or any fixed amount that goes somewhere, that, like, you just need to make sure you keep a certain amount that works for you, that is there as you carry on with your life. You just set it apart. You don't even realize that your salary is maybe 5,000 less, 10,000 less, whatever amount you choose. I know a lot of women, because you mentioned the disparity of earning for women. I mean, it might feel impossible. It might feel like a lot if your family is counting on you. When every raise has already got, like, when you're thinking, okay, if you're going to get a raise, you have so and so, that, like, there's the list of people that are already on your list that you have to take care of. I'm not saying ignore those responsibilities. I'm sure there's people listening, that women out there that have a lot of responsibility. What I'm saying is, can you add yourself to that list, even if it's a small amount? Because you really cannot build anyone else's future on an empty foundation. I think if I give you a personal example, I think it was 2024 or 25 November, I just decided one of these apps that we have now that do investment, I think Carry Rise I put a small amount that was realistic for me, that if I wouldn't even notice if it's missing in my account. And within a year, it was 300% growth. And it was because I put it inside a fund, and funds are safe because they can be passive for you. So something small like that, you have to start. You need to start somewhere. Like I said, 10,000, even 1,000, whatever it is, take out something from your account. If you get a lot of money, take $1 million out. If you have a lot of money out there, women, you can afford to do that. Even if you don't like investing, you're not in the financial field, do something. The amount doesn't really matter. It's the habit. You set up an automatic transfer. So it happens the day your salary lands, before you even get that alert, before you even see it. It leaves before it reaches you, so you will not miss it. You won't even know. And I think a second habit I would say is not just blindly invest. Please, women, anybody listening out there, men, women, know what you are investing in. A lot of people have investment accounts and pension funds. I mean, I've been guilty of this myself. I did not know what my pension provider was investing. I just know that they were taking money from my salary. But all it takes is 20, 30 minutes. If it's not working for you and there's another provider doing better, move your money, because you're losing out. Like, you have to start, and you need to start soon.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's quite impressive.
Your financial education, sorry, I just remembered you said financial education for girls.
Yeah.
I think that's something we all strongly, I think, being from sub-Saharan Africa, me being a Hausa woman, it is very important. Financial literacy is everything. So not because every girl needs to be a banker or financial advisor, because we know financial knowledge is protection for you as an individual. We know that, like, we want to raise our daughters to have skills that they can manage to take care of themselves if anything was to happen. So we need to add, I think, we teach them to cook, we teach them hospitality. This needs to start at home before school. Like, teach them how to try to aim to earn for their own financial future. Not whoever marries them will carry the weight. Not that their family will be the one deciding on what they do with their money. Just teach them to start thinking about money young. I think funny one I saw recently, I think it was LinkedIn. I think Serena Williams, just think this is somebody worth millions of dollars out there. I think they said her 8-year-old, she doesn't give them like an allowance or anything. You get, yes, the luxury, but you have to do chores to get the money, because she says she needs to teach her child at an early age what it means to earn money. So I think we need to also all out there try to start doing that. Yes, you can live in luxury, but the child needs to know that money is coming from working.
All right, it's important now that you've mentioned kind of like society and expectations. Let's talk about societal expectations now. How that will influence women approach money, how women approach money and investing, and how does confidence play a role in women delaying investment decisions? We're in a climate where sometimes they can even tell you that a woman cannot have that much money.
Can you repeat? You're breaking a bit, so just once more, can you repeat the question?
Okay, I'm saying that let's talk about societal expectations now. Do societal expectations influence how women approach money and investing? And how does confidence play a role in women delaying investment decisions? I said that sometimes they'll tell you as a woman, you're expected to have money under a man or less money than a man has.
So yeah, I thank you for that. Yes. So let me speak from personal experience. So let me tell you something that happens to me too regularly to even count, unfortunately. Not that it's a great hit. So I have my CFA, like you said. I've had a number of years managing investment portfolios. I'm serving as an advisor, you know that. So we go into meetings. I introduce myself. They know why I'm there. I go with colleagues, male and female. Almost always, I will sit across a table with a man that's about to start speaking, and he will look right past me and direct it to my male colleague. I am a Muslim hijabi. I cover up, and I'm Hausa. So this happens. I just thought, like, I'm grateful. My male colleague, he's very graceful. He always redirects it. So thank you. The men out there, they're not all the same. And I always remember the men that do direct the question to me. That makes it memorable. But this happens really too frequent to say. Like, I can count those that doesn't happen because I remember them. And it just made me think afterwards, like, I just thought, if this is happening to me with all that is behind me, like, what's happening to the ordinary Nigerian woman? Like you said, with community, like, if somebody now, she has managed to get a bank account, she's walked into the bank and she just wants to ask about investing in her savings. Like, there's a huge barrier. Like, how many women will go to the bank? I've had this, that their relationship manager or their bank account manager will, like a reflex, ask them, oh, does your husband know about this? Like, they want to do a big transaction, they want to move. I mean, I've had a few say that. I'm praying all the women out there, not many this has happened. It hasn't happened to me, but I've spoken to someone that has. Or if, like you said, community, in a family meeting now, it's simply assumed the men will handle money if we're talking about things. So this is not ancient history. This is happening to people. This happened to somebody last week somewhere in this country. And the message it just sends over and over quietly is that money is not your domain. Like, you're being brainwashed to believe money is not for you. And these messages are expensive, not in ways that can easily be calculated, but in years, like, a woman spends waiting until she feels ready enough, like you said, the confidence that she knows enough, that she has permission to start investing. That's a cost. and it compounds. So all those people listening out there, like, I just want us to know the waiting moment, like, there's no moment to feel ready, women, if you're out there listening. I just want to say that as clearly as I can. That moment will not arrive on its own. Like, the confidence comes from doing. So you need to, that's why the education for the girls is so important early. So you need to not be preparing for it. You need to find your community. The safest thing for us, like when you mentioned Ajo, Asusu, Adashi, it's community. You find the community. You find the women that are talking about money. You see what's working. Ask them what's working, what failed, and then ask them what they wish they'd known. Trust me, it's very interesting. I think I've met a lot of top executive women that it's interesting, even at a networking event, if you ask them simple, like, how did they grow, where did they start, or are they into investments, or if you ask them, are they into fintech? It's amazing what you can learn from those conversations, and I think we need to have more of them.
Okay, Maryam, let me just get in there because we just have under a minute to finish this program. I thank you for this education. This is one program I would like to repeat. I'd like to put it on repeat so a lot more women can hear it. But before I let you go, Maryam, let me ask you the role that career breaks, women who are in career, the role that career breaks, for caregiving or family responsibilities. The one she's going to get pregnant, she's going to have a baby, she's expected to stay back home and nurse the baby. What role do these things play in long-term wealth building for the woman? Because she's the one who has to skip work to nurse the baby. Just in 45 seconds, if you can.
Okay, so the main thing I would say is, if you are planning, like I know, like you said, caregiving is not health problems, emergencies are different. But if you're planning to have a baby, like, start early. Start looking into investments that you are investing aggressively before you get there. Set things up running before you actually get that. So when your income kind of dips or stops, you're connected, you're actually getting an inflow. And once you're on that maternity leave, even if you're on maternity leave with pay women out there, keep in touch. Please keep in touch with your network. It is much easier to re-enter when you have kept your network. Like, the network remembers you. Those that have reached out to you, acknowledge it. If you can, go to an event, a work event or a networking. If it's a naming ceremony, just stay relevant. And also at the same time, just make sure you are up to date with what is happening at work, because somebody is getting that promotion while you're away. All right. Somebody is getting that pay rise
while you're away. All right, we're gonna have this conversation definitely another time. Maryam Kurfi, CFA, thank you very much for your time on the radio this evening. We really do appreciate it. We'll be talking about this debate: are Nigerian women better investors than men? So why do they have less wealth? It just got started. We'll get you again another time so we can have a second part of this one. Thank you so much, Maryam.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor. I appreciate it. Thank you, CFA Society Nigeria.
Absolutely. And that's our show this evening. Join us again next time for a fresh package of the program. Till that time, continue to make finance a force for good. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Money Talks, hosted by the CFA Society Nigeria. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube at CFA Society Nigeria. Follow us for more financial insight and updates. Keep a date with us next time.